Hello and welcome to Vision Denial. My name is Sam, and if you're new here, this is Road to MSI 2023 and Meet the Teams, where I've watched every single playoff of every region participating. Asterisk, I did not watch Winter of LEC. It's for many reasons I've already mentioned previously. Today, or in this particular video, we're going to be talking about Gen G. Fourth team to qualify and first seed out of the LCK in Korea, winning the spring split. We're going to be talking about the vastness of this unexpected upset out of the LCK and how they made it there, or more specifically their players and how their style explains why it was an upset and yet should not be underrated. Without further ado, let's take a look at... Oh, and before we do that, if ever you're wondering how I got some of these stats, I'll have a link down below to the document in question. Without further ado, let's take a look at the team. Let's start with the coaching staff and the stylization of the team. We've got ourselves Score Mafa on the other side. Score, best known as the top laner turned bot laner turned longtime jungler of KT Rollsters before becoming the head coach of Gen G as of Season 12. With Mafa having been part of the coaching staff of Invictus Gaming for 5 years, including the coaching staff of the World Championship roster, or the World Champions roster, before joining Gen G in Season 12, part of the coaching staff themselves as well as assistant coach. When looking at Gen G as a particular style, you start to be a little bit baffled by their underwhelming stats. Right? The only notable thing here is being 5th in gold difference at 15, 5th in first turrets, 5th in Baron, 5th in heralds, with a very top-focused play. Their 11th in game duration are very slow, 11th in win rate ahead at 15 with lots of mistakes going into it, 11th in damage per minute being very risk-averse, 11th in kills per game, 10th in death per game, again, leading to the averse play. And so it's to wonder, how would they still be able to create this upset if they're such a risk-averse team? Let's meet the top laner of Gen G, Doran. He made his debut in Season 9 with Griffin before being part of DRX, KT Rollsters, and then joining Gen G in Season 12. On the surface, his stats may not look super impressive. 8th in KDA, 5th in CS per minute, 8th in gold per minute, 10th in damage per minute, 4th in kill participation, 9th in kill share, 7th in gold share, but 3rd in champion pool itself. He is a dependable and reliable player who on the surface doesn't look super impressive, but his flexibility, his team fighting, and consistent self-reliance, especially within side lane pressure that he then translates to come with the team fighting, means that Doran is likely to surprise you when you don't expect it, and otherwise also still play how Gen G needs him to. It is good to take into account that, yes, some of the stats don't make sense, but when you're playing as a tank or as a side lane threat, your damage numbers will not be as high. Let's meet the jungler of Gen G, Peanut. Fans of the LCK will recognize this highly coveted player that has been at the top of the scene since Season 5 and is now rejoining Gen G as of Season 12. Although, his stats may say that he is no longer at his prime. 10th in KDA, 6th in CS per minute, 10th in gold per minute, 11th in damage per minute, last in kill participation, 9th in kill share, last in gold share, 10th in the champion pool. Amongst other junglers, he's having a rough time. Peanut is a heavy early game farming jungler. He benefits from having a fairly strong laners to not need to influence at all, and participates just as much as, or that doesn't participate as much as other junglers would in this particular situation. This may be rough, as the laners at MSI are going to push a lot harder, and junglers are much heavier skirmishers that will challenge his often pretty lackadaisical habits. Let's meet the mid laner of Gen G, Chovy. Chovy, quite frankly, the most famous farm bot, started his career with Griffin in Season 8, moving through DRX, Humble Life, before joining Gen G in Season 12. And amongst other top laners, Chovy is fairly stacked. He's second in KDA, first in CS per minute. Of course he's first in CS per minute. Third in gold, fourth in damage per minute. Seventh in kill participation, but fourth in kill share, third in goal share, third in champion pool size. Chovy is the enabler of the team, alongside being one of the strongest laner of the tournament, means that eyes are often on him to find the win condition. And this sometimes can lead to very risky play, but as he is a very safe player and will create the space required for Gen G to succeed, it would be no doubt that Chovy will make continuous and awesome plays in this tournament. Let's meet the bot laner of Gen G, Pace. This is Pace's rookie year as a talented bot laner, and there's a lot of buzzing around him. Although, comparing him to the other bot laners that are going into the tournament, there's a couple of things. He follows in the footsteps of his mid laner being first in CS per minute, but under average for much of everything else. 6th in KDA, 7th in gold per minute, 9th in damage per minute, 5th in kill share, 5th in kill participation, 3rd in kill share, 6th in gold share, and 3rd in champion pool. This player is a little bit all over the place in terms of stats, but you can read that this is a reliable and flexible bot laner who will clean up when needed and is given a lot of trust to accomplish it, especially if they're going to be aiming towards playing in his lane to get some of the win conditions. I would not discredit him completely given his rookie status, as he will be making waves amongst other bot laners. Let's meet Gen G's support player, Delight. He made his debut in Season 11 with Fred Breon before joining Gen G in Season 13. And amongst other support players, he fits right in the middle of the pack. 6th in KDA, 6th in kill participation, 9th in kill share, 8th in gold share. But with his team, the thing that's really notable about him is his vision play. 2nd overall in vision control and 1st in vision denial. Delight has been a reliable player in terms of team fighting, but the most notable, in fact, like I mentioned, is the influence on vision. It hits the top of the charts both in vision control and vision denial, allowing a lot of control for Gen G that other teams may not notice. I cannot overstate how crazy good Gen G's vision is in regular play. It honestly blows everyone out of the water practically. Taking a look over with seeing Gen G as a whole, on the surface it may look like a team that has just 1 star player, 3 veterans, 2 rookies, and mostly average play compared to the other teams. But if you don't pay attention, the consistency, patience, and flexibility combined with the amount of control around vision and team fighting they have, it will catch a lot of teams unaware and off guard of the potential they have. And honestly, there is a reason why they had an upset win in the playoffs. Most teams will get the chance to find that out, but it didn't come out of nowhere, and it wasn't purely on the mistakes of T1. So let's just look at seeing how Gen G if they can actually continue this particular momentum or fall back to their regular season habits. Also, I would love to hear your thoughts. Do you think they'll actually be able to keep it up, or is this going to be one of those situations where we have a Korean team that flops as their representatives going into MSI? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. And again, thank you for watching. With that, I'll see you next time at MSI. Bye. Thank you again for watching. Greatly appreciated. These kinds of videos take quite a bit of time. If you're interested, we've got over here more videos about the other teams that have qualified for MSI. And if you're curious about the process in which I watched every single playoff, here's a playlist of the road itself to MSI. If you have any particular thoughts, comments, or predictions. I'd love to hear those things down below. And if you care to, right below over here, this little button, you can click on it and subscribe.